Hi there. I said I would make a little video on how to do some mesh editing and turn them into morphs, so you can use them in iClone. And I'm going to take this character here because I wanted to do some morphs on him. I want to add a swallow effect. I'll do a swallow, and I think I'll do a like you had talked about, a wrinkle movement. So I'm going to start with the swallow because it's easier. And I'm going to go to headshot as soon as I can find it. Headshot. Body, head, headshot. There. And I'm going to do Adams. Oh, sorry. There's something I have to do first. First thing you want to do with your character before you morph anything, all right, is you want to export him as an iAvatar, or her, or it, for that matter. I like to go ahead and put that up to the 4096 because I use that. So I put it up there. And Ramius. Apparently I have a swallow for him. Well, I'm going to do it again. I'll do it. Swallow. We're going to call it a new one. No, this is Ramius DH base. I don't even know if those guys are wearing the same outfit. I have many versions, so. DH for digital human. I'll know it's the newer one. So he is exporting. Okay. So I'm going to make his Adam's apple protrude a little bit. And I'm going to move it down. Now that's not exactly what a swallow looks like, but that's a start. Okay. Now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tip him back. I think I'll turn his jacket off. Yeah, awesome. Okay, ignore his little captain's insignia there. I just have it attached to his neck. Okay, Ramius. Now, I am going to go in here to edit mesh. There's different ways to do this. In this case, I'm going to use Sculpt because I just want to pull it out. And if you pull it out a little farther than you want it to be, then you, ooh, way too big. Ooh, turn the radius down. That's still a little big. If you pull it out a little farther than you want, then you can use this smoothing to pull it back in. So up here under, you know, kind of under his chin, just in there where you had that little indent. Yeah, that's better. Down more. Okay. I'm going to see what he looks like. Sometimes it's hard to tell with. Yeah, it needs some smoothing. Okay. Edit mesh. Sculpt. Smoothing. And now, yeah, that'll pull that weird indent out a little bit. Yeah, that's probably a little better. Too much. Okay. Put his jacket back on. Now something, you may have noticed that when he swallowed, his neck moved. The collar of his, with the Adam's apple, the collar of the jacket moved. Probably don't want that because it's nowhere near tight. So it doesn't need to move. So I am going to just tweak. Actually, I'm going to leave it in this case. I'm going to leave it alone. And I'll show you how we fix that when we get it in. Now, he is fully swallowed, so to speak. Export iAvatar 2048. Export Ramius DH base. Ramius DH. Swallow. Okay. Now I am going to undo all of that. If you don't undo it, then you end up with multiple morphs in one thing, and you may not want that. So if you do, that's fine, but I don't necessarily want to link his eyebrow or his forehead wrinkles to his swallowing. So, okay. So here we have his forehead. Select him. I am going to go here to edit mesh. And I am going to make sure ignore backface is unchecked. Or, I'm sorry, in this case, make sure ignore backface is checked. So you aren't moving the back of his skull around. And I'm going to grab, like that. I'm going to make it smaller. And I'm going to pull it up. And I think I will do that same thing over here. Make them smaller. Pull it up. All right. And those guys, I think I won't go with smaller. I will just pull it down a little. One of the issues when you're making forehead wrinkles and things of that sort, very often when we're doing the kind of expressions that would make our forehead wrinkles move, we're also moving the muscles along our hairline. I have not yet found a way to actually make the hairline move. Admittedly, that is often because the hairs I'm using are also, there's also accessories in there, and those for sure won't move. But I'm not going to mess with trying to figure that one out today. I am going to call it good. It's subtle, but hopefully it'll make a difference. Export avatar. For sure, if you're going to do that kind of subtle mesh editing, do the 2048. I did some of that kind of mesh editing on another character's face, and it didn't. I think because I exported at 2048, I couldn't tell I had done anything at all. So definitely works better to do it this way. Exporting. Okay. I'm going to close out of there. I am going to open iClone. All right. Coming into my guy's face. Please note I have this on quick mode. There's no way I can run both Character Creator and iClone and with added Screencast-O-Matic and not have it on quick mode. I will put it on high when we're done. You can see it. So I have my character. I want to make sure he is selected. And then we go to Modify. Up here to the little running guy. Go down to Morph Creator. And that will send that avatar to Morph Creator. I think I will do the same thing here. I'd like to keep Character Creator open if I can, because I may have to do more or tweak things or something of that nature. So that's why I went in and hopefully made it low enough on my system that I can run all of these. I was really hoping to win that Powerball. I'd get a really nice computer. Okay, so there is our Captain Ramius. I'm not even going to scroll in. I'm just going to go here and we're going to start with, let's start with forehead wrinkle. Because that is closest to, I didn't do a super extreme, but that is closer to what you were interested in. So. Okay. Sphere 01. Oh, Sphere 01. That's those little balls. Those on his insignia. So, this is a little bit like the neck thing that it moved his collar when I made the swallow. Down here, Sphere 01, since that's one of those guys. Delete. And delete, because it makes absolutely no difference. Okay, let's go up here to where, even though it isn't pretty, we can see his forehead. And see if it did anything. It's subtle, but it's there. So, yeah. Send and replace to iClone. Put it back to 0. I think it messes things up if you leave it activate it, or however you want to put it. Put it back to 0, send it to iClone. I will wait until we have both morphs in to put this back on a higher view mode and show you what the forehead wrinkles do when it's not in this weird quick mode. All right, plus Ramius DH swallow. Okay, here we go. Adding. Okay, so the swallow morph is in. And again, with the sphere, now in this case, it might actually make a difference. So I don't need to turn his forehead wrinkles up. See how his throat moves? Okay. Now, it doesn't look like it actually is going to make a difference here. I could just get rid of those. Yeah, okay. So, since those don't really seem to do anything, it's not, his throat is not impeding his collar, I'm just going to take all that out. So yeah, that's a pretty decent one. Send replace to iClone. So we are back in iClone, and now I should be able to go to, yeah, it'll work. That'll help. Morph Animator. Yeah. So here we have at 0. At 0, there will always be a keyframe, but that's what you just move it up and move it back down to create a keyframe. Computer still doesn't like. Please don't die. Please don't die. Don't crash. All right, I am going to turn that up. I am going to turn that down. I am going to make his wrinkles move up and make his wrinkles move down. And like you could see it. Okay. Clip. Transform, don't care. He has a motion in there. Oh, it's the starting pose. You can tell it to show the morphs. So, zoom out. Yeah. It's the starting pose. You can tell it to show the morphs. So, zoom out. Yeah. Those are those existing morphs. So, like with this, animator. Does this hit the wrinkle? Yeah, forehead wrinkle on. Let's change his expression to go with that. So I'm just going to go in here and go raise eyebrow and raise brow, because that's when you would have something like this. Want that. I'm not doing this in the most efficient way. Yes, okay. So, and just because it's weird to have him standing completely still, just gonna do a couple little and. Okay. All right, we will take that off. We will go up to high, see it. It's gonna take a while. So, all right, and I changed the light so you could see it a little better. His hair has physics on it from being saved. All right, so that's the kind of thing where you might look at, the spacing between the morphs that was weird because his swallow was so slow. So that's the kind of thing you can play with the spacing or whatever to make it. Something like a swallow I would only do if, you've got a dramatic and you're fairly well close up. I wouldn't do it when you have to do it in a morph. I wouldn't do it all the time. I don't even use my breathing morphs all the time. It's just to show, intensity of emotion or fear or whatever. Anyway, I hope that helps. Thank you.